Hey everyone, and all the beautiful sacred space holders in this group. I hope you enjoyed the imbued root chakra crystal grid that was posted up on our page this morning. It was really interesting. I was intending to only draw one card relevant to the root chakra, which resonates with Tuesdays, and 4 wanted to come out, and they all formed the boundaries of our beautiful grid. So, and that was one of the cards too. Hi Josh, how you doing? That was one of the cards that got drawn to the color brown, which tells us to establish some healthy boundaries, which is a really solid energy of the root chakra, yeah? So rather than turn this into an uber long description about everything that was on the grid, let me just focus on the first card that was drawn, which was the Auburn card. And that one's message was to ground yourself. And what does that mean? We hear that pretty much as a catchphrase a lot, don't we? Go out and ground yourself, get grounded. And we hear it, but do we do it? And do we do it in effective ways that resonate with you? You've got to find your flow, something that suits you. So me telling you walk around barefoot and get grounded, that might absolutely not feel appealing to you whatsoever. And to me and my family, well, the majority of my family, that feels amazing, It's like, yes, no shoes, stuff shoes, But for others, it'd be like, no, that feels really uncomfortable. I've been conditioned my whole life before I go outside and put my shoes and socks on, and that is part of your routine. And if that's what feels more natural and comfortable for you, then stick with that. So some other ways that we can ground ourselves is, hi Robin, thanks for joining. Some other ways that we can ground ourselves are really simple, is drink water. So why do we do that? It brings us to being actually really fully present in our body. And Josh, who was our guest speaker last week, is probably one of the most easiest persons to talk to about presencing. How do we notice our body? So the act of literally drinking water, now I can sit here and harp on about drinking only purified water and, blah, 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 blah. We've got Kangen spruikers and we've got Zazen spruikers. I've got a Zazen, but, just the act of physically drinking water brings you very present with your physical body. You pause. You give yourself permission to pause and take something into your body and allow. And if you're following it, we tend to follow the pathway when we swallow something, don't we? And that's another thing that we can do to help us easily get grounded, is eat something. Eat something. It brings us back into our body. So I know even when we have hiatus where we go off and we're in the sweat lodge and we're praying and we're singing, the first thing that we do when we come out of that is we eat. We eat together. We eat to feel fully present back in our bodies again. And we usually eat something really grounding, that is very nourishing and nurturing. And it usually might be like a nice big stew full of root vegetables. So that's if you think about all the vegetables that grow in the ground, deep in the ground, that grow under the soil, they're probably the ones that are going to get you even more grounded than others. So think of some things like carrots. Carrots grow under the soil. They're nourished by that rich soil. And Robin's saying that she walked out on the grass for about 20 minutes this morning for a bit of grounding. Fantastic. Do it every day. If we can all do that collectively every day, just give yourself that space to do that as often as you can. So we're getting out of here. We're going to be very much up in our heads, guys. So the more that we can just notice where our awareness is in our body, as Josh was talking about last week, we can just be aware of where our attention is being held in our bodies, and if it feels uncomfortable or heavy, to be able to have these tools to be able to help pull our awareness and our intention down to a different area of our body that might create that harmony and that balance again. So today, I know I really needed to get grounded. I've been using this a lot. I've been creating a lot of online content, thinking of different ways that I can be of service to my clients and my community and my family to start creatively thinking of an income stream. And I really needed to get out of here and down into my lower chakras and ground out so that it wasn't inducing any state of concern, worry, or fear, and actually really addressing what was going on here. And that was creating stability in my own life. So rather than getting all woo-woo up here, I really needed to get ground down to what is my core primal need right now, and that is to create a foundation of security, and that's what our root chakra does. So to be able to ground myself, I can actually get that clarity a little bit easier. Some beautiful ways you can ground yourself other than walking barefoot on the grass or the soil, as well as drinking and eating, is just mindfulness. So you might, while you're out there walking or even walking through your house, because we're all so much more in our homes right now, aren't we, is mindfully walk, mindfully focus. And this can take 2 minutes, guys. Seriously, I'm not asking you to take out half hour of your day to dive deep into a massive meditation. We may not have the attention span for anything that is too lengthy right now, where our awareness is just so peaked. So mindfully being present with yourself and walking through the house, focusing on your feet while you're walking, just focusing on your feet, just focus on them and imagine your feet are being like magnetized to the earth, and imagine rich colors, swirling around, your feet as well. When you think grounded, when I think grounded, I think earthy colors. I literally do. I think of all the colors of our Mother Earth, that rich soil is where everything grows from. It gets birthed from this beautiful, nourishing, rich soil. So this is what we've got to do too. We've got to nourish our own rich soil, right? So you tend to unconsciously wear these colors when you need them as well. Like today, I'm wearing my brown pants, black top. Black's not evil, guys. It's actually a very protective color and helps bring our energy and pull it back into ourselves so that we're not gifting it away here, there, and everywhere. We're actually harnessing it and calling it back home and internalizing where we need to charge up our own batteries, if that makes sense. Yeah. So that was in that card. There's this beautiful little presencing visualization that you can do when you're grounding and walking with your feet. So you can literally imagine the color auburn as you're walking. Take some long, slow, deep breaths as you're walking along, and feel the energy and the healing power of the earth coming up through your feet, and visualize those autumn rays moving through your body into the earth. You can also do a brief visualization for a few minutes where you're literally feeling like tree roots growing out of your feet and connecting you to the center of the earth. These are things you can do before you go to bed even. If you feel like you're trying to cram too much into your day, it might help bring you down back into yourself, into your body, connecting into the divinity of spirit and your own infinite power as well. And this is an intelligence that we have, when we're aware of where we might be letting our energy leak somewhere and where we're throwing it into another area. And that might be necessary sometimes. Sometimes you might be really in creative flow, and a lot of people are in creative flow right now, really trying to grasp how to utilize this high-tech online world, to still function in their day. But in order for it to do that, we've really got to ground ourselves. We've got to get grounded, we've got to get connected, we've got to know what our foundation of security and safety is. and for what purpose? Because if we're operating from a place of fear, that's going to override all our actions, isn't it? But if we're operating from a creative purpose, a sense of purpose, where we actually really feel connected to the whole, you as a whole are connected to a greater collective of wholes. It's not like you're not whole without being connected. So just be mindful of that thought process. That's something that's really going to come up a lot as well, especially with social distancing, is the fact that once upon a time we probably really relied on that human contact, and we knew who our tribe was, we knew who our people were, right? You knew who the ones that we'll feel comfortable to wrap our arms around as well, to create that sense of security. But can we actually lean into really honouring the sovereignty of ourselves, notice the beautiful individual presence of each person, see them being grounded to the earth, see yourself being grounded to the earth, and feel that connection in that way, that we're all the living beings of the same vibrational orb, Mother Gaia. Yeah, I can probably prattle on for another hour about this, but I'm not going to. So, what can you do today to help yourself feel grounded should you need to? Would you like to drink some more water? Eat something nourishing and grounding full of root vegetables? Wear some grounding colours, your earthy browns. You might need more energy. You might want to bring in the reds in there, It might be more of a reddy browny colour, like the burgundy card that we drew in that grid as well. The burgundy card represented awakening our passion, so we start to seed that intention of movement when we awaken our passion in our root chakra, which is really beautiful, because a lot of people are actually giving themselves permission now to dive into those creative pursuits or those ideas or those projects that they had in the back of the head of like, I think I can, I'd like to do that. Now we've got no excuse not to. We're home now, we're home. This is our safety hub right here. Let's create it as such, but starting with our inner temple first. Right here within ourselves. Where do I create the foundations of my safety and security within myself, and how can I nurture myself to remind myself to be in that state every single day? Hit me up if you've got any questions, or leave any comments below on your thoughts and feelings around this. Let me know what you're doing today to ground yourself. I know a couple of you have been barefooting out there and really loving getting into the kitchen to create some really nourishing grounding dishes. I know I have, and having a vegan in the house, it means that I'm getting a lot bigger dose of veggies than I once upon a time did, which I'm grateful for. But let me know what you're doing, where your mind is, and any ideas and thoughts that you have around sharing with the group on helping yourself be grounded today. All right. Mwah. Big love, guys. Take care. Bye.